Okay, so just to show you how hard it is when you're bipolar, this was the first video I took was about a half an hour ago, and I took a nice hot shower, and a lot of that feeling that I was getting, the negativity, washed away, and believe it or not, that is a very good therapy. I just wanted to start out with kind of explaining. I'm 36 years old. I was diagnosed bipolar when I was 17. I had my first child when I was 18, and all my children are in February. They're 2 years apart consecutively. I fought medication and treatment for a long time because I didn't understand. I had a 95-year-old doctor go, "You're clinically manic depressive, and here's some medicine," and sent me on my way. And so I spent many years thinking I was crazy. I made my husband at the time promise me, and I mean promise me, that he would not ever have me committed because I thought I would be committed. Since then, of course, I've become self-educated, and doctors have shared with me kind of a point of view to look at it. Yes, there is something wrong with us, but no more so than a diabetic person or someone who needs thyroid medication. We are all biomechanical beings. Everything that we do is controlled by hormones and just different things, chemicals that are in our body. And basically, being bipolar, it's basically that we don't get enough of. Sorry, my cat just opened the door. Okay, so basically, what that means is that the communication system in our brain does not, the neurotransmitters do not transfer things properly. And mostly, for most of the bipolar people I know, that means that we are actually very empathetic and almost to the point of being painful. And so we take everything very, very seriously, and everything is very, very deep for us. The point where I come in, where I want treatment, is that I don't want my emotions to run me, and I realize that a lot of this is chemical. I can feel it in my body when it changes, and the most important thing is to remember that, what you're feeling right now is going to pass. It will pass. Do not take a permanent solution for a temporary problem. I wanted you guys to know that I'm here for you, and I'm hoping that my story will help others. I have a son who is going to be 18 this month, and he has Asperger's syndrome, and we've been dealing with him. But basically, I feel a lot better now. Like I said, it's just been a rough day. I had a doctor's appointment with a new doctor. Very, very disappointing. I didn't get any treatment from her. All she wanted to do was blood work, and she wanted to refer me to a psychiatrist to get my psych meds, so to speak. That really angers me, because that shows that she's ignorant in the fact that it isn't a psych disorder per se, that it is chemical, because the doctor I had before was really good about that. There's so many resources out there, but there's not enough. Nobody talks about it. Nobody says, "Hey, I'm bipolar," or "Hey, I have fibromyalgia," or, people don't just go around talking to other people about that. And it's a damn shame, because if more people spoke up about it and stopped acting so ashamed for what they have, then things would be a lot different. It's as much healthcare as it is mental health, because especially with bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, any of those things, they're all chemical. They're all chemical, and therefore they are physical problems in our bodies that affect us in different ways, emotionally and mentally, and sometimes physically. Being clinically depressed is very painful, especially when you have fibromyalgia on top of it. So I wanted to kind of put it out there that, this is not anything to be ashamed of, and we're going to do and say things that we feel like we're not in control of sometimes. Another thing is, don't ever let anybody tell you that you being bipolar is an excuse for their behavior, because there's no reason for anybody to mistreat you ever. And the statistics for people who are bipolar, they are one of the most abused. I can tell you personally, I have been through every sort of abuse that you can think of. And you know what? I'm not saying that for you to sit here and say, hey, feel sorry for me. I'm saying it because I'm still here. Everybody has done all of these things to me: sexual abuse, physical abuse. I've been hit. I've been mentally abused, verbally abused, pretty much everything you can think of, almost, aside from actually being killed. Although sometimes I felt dead inside because of it. I mean, since I was a little girl, I'm still here. I'm still here, and I'm still me, and I'm not giving up. And you know what? I'm also going to help other people. And I'm really glad that I have a chance to do this. I don't know why it took me so long in the first place, but I just wanted to let you all know that, there's a lot of things that we can talk about with each other, that we can trust each other with, that nobody else is going to understand. It's part of the reason why I wanted to become a counselor, not a psychiatrist, but a counselor, because of the things that I suffer from, of the abuse that I've been through. There's nobody else that can be more qualified to help another human being than a person who not only has the education, which the book smarts are great, they have the degree, but the degree does not give you the experience in which to help another person, because if you have not lived it, if you have not been there, you can talk, you can preach all you want to, but I guarantee you the person sitting in front of you that's trying to take your advice, for those of you, and I know it's well-meaning for a lot of these counselors, you're not going to know how to help me. So this is something after my own heart, to be able to help other people. And this is also kind of a journal for me to follow my ups and downs. And hopefully I'll get a good doctor who will work with me on my meds, because I'm not on everything I should be. It's helping, but, and medicine is not an ultimate solution. We have to relearn behaviors. We have to have a good support group. Being bipolar is just a fantastic page on Facebook, and I'm so glad that I found it. And I hope to partner up with them, and maybe we can do some live hangouts where we talk as groups. You can do that on YouTube, and there's also the hangouts in Google. So maybe we can set a time up with the bipolar page that I am associating myself with now. And, don't be afraid. Basically, everybody who's in this group, we will accept each other for how we are. And that can even change from minute to minute, and day to day, sometimes month to month, sometimes several times in a day. I have been known as a rapid cycler, which means I can go in and out between manic and depressive within a day. They tell me I'm highly functioning, and I do believe that because I can physically feel the changes. But there's so much more to it than that. I mean, it's how people react. People don't understand when you act a certain way, that sometimes all you need is for someone to just hug you and say that, you know what, whatever's going on, I still love you, I still care about you. And a lot of us don't get that. A lot of us get pushed away because people don't know what to do. They're not educated on it, and they don't understand what we're going through. And it's sad because it's just now coming out to the point where famous people are coming out with this and saying, look, I have this, and this is not something to be ashamed of. Catherine Zeta-Jones, for example, she is a fantastic actress, beautiful person. She publicly went out and said, you know what, I'm going to put myself in a treatment facility, and I'm bipolar, and, she's trying to get better. And that to me was amazing for her to say that, because I'm so sick of everyone being so silent about it. If people are so quiet about it, it's just as bad as child abuse or sexual abuse or rape or anything else. If you're quiet, nobody's going to know about it. It's not your shame. It's theirs. It's I mean, don't use bipolar as an excuse. It's kind of like the cry wolf thing, you know. I mean, you don't want to use it as an excuse constantly, because then no one will believe you if you're really seriously having problems. But I just kind of wanted to put that out there, and thank you all for watching. And tomorrow I'll probably post something else. I have to work tomorrow, so it'll be late, but it just makes me feel really good to know that I have people out there who care and who are also in the same pattern in life I am, I guess. I'm trying to break that. I'm trying to not let bipolar or fibromyalgia or anything else that I suffer from, I'm trying to not let that define who I am. It's a long, hard road. I mean, I fought meds for a long time because of my mother being abusive with drugs and alcohol, and I didn't want to be like her. But I wasn't her, and it took me a long time to realize that I can make my own choices. And when I did, you know, the medications help. There's meditation that helps. Having a good support group helps more than anything. Musical therapy is awesome. My cat, the one that opened the door while I'm sitting here talking, she's an amazing cat. She knows when I'm extremely down. She'll come and she'll sit on me, and she won't leave me until she knows I feel better. So, you know, those of you who can't have cats, you know, have a puppy or something that you can do to kind of ease your mind, basically. And it's just, there's so much involved with it. It's not just being manic depressive, it's moreover emotion, raw, just full force, intensive emotion. And most people can't handle that. They don't understand that. It does not make us a bad person. That does not mean that we're crazy or anything, but with medication to help balance out the stuff that our brain doesn't do right, you know, we might not overreact so much to certain things or put such weight on certain things when they do or don't happen the way they're supposed to. Again, if you have any questions for me, I'm still learning too, but I've spent a lot of time and years self-teaching. I'm just, there's not enough of a support group out there. People should be able to get help, and it shouldn't be this difficult. And it shouldn't take people shooting up schools or whatever in malls, shopping malls, or going back to their place of employment and going nuts because, you know, they get fired and nobody knows why. Nobody cares to ask how that person's doing. You know, the next time you see somebody at work and they look down or whatever, you know, you don't have to dig into their personal life. Just smile and say, how are you? Or see, acknowledge that person. Let them know that they exist, you know. There's so many times people have walked by me, or I've posted stuff on Facebook, and nobody answers because it makes them uncomfortable. Well, I'm so sorry that that makes you uncomfortable, but I was born with this. It's not something that I chose for myself any more than a diabetic would choose to have to need insulin or anything else. So I just wanted to say thank you, and I will keep posting. Hopefully I don't bore you guys too much, but it's going to be a journey, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to meeting you all and getting your video responses, and I hope you have a good night. Signing off.